Hey audio fam, if you're wanting your bass tone to go from something like this into something that sounds more along the lines of this, we're going to dive into that right now. The way I was able to achieve this synth bass tone is through the GTR plugin from Waves. You might think of this as exclusively a plugin for electric guitars, but there actually is quite a few awesome features on here for the bass guitar as well. Just really quick, I would like to mention that if any point during the video you want to check out the GTR plugin from Waves for yourself, I did put a link in the description that will take you right to the product. If you end up purchasing through that link, it will support me in a very big way, and I appreciate each of you willing to do that for me. But with all that out of the way, let me walk you through what I did to get this tone. The first place I started was in the amp section. First thing I did was I hit this link button up here. By default, it is not on. And so this is your left and this is your right amp. If you adjust, let's say on the left, it will not carry over to the right side unless you hit this link button. Then any change you make anywhere will affect the other side just as equally. So I started off with that. All I really did was I used this direct tube preset. It's got a drop down menu here. I just went with a direct tube preset. From there, I did crank up the bass all the way. And just as a side note, when you're making extreme settings like this, you just want to make sure that it doesn't go too crazy on your output. You don't want to blow out your speakers or your headphones or whatever it is you may be using. So when you're making extreme settings like this, definitely make sure to just crank down the output quite a bit, just to be safe, to not blow out your speakers or anything like that. And then, whenever you're ready to record, then you can bring up the output as much as you need. But just to start off with, I would recommend doing that. That's really all I did here. I don't remember if there was any drive in this preset, but if so, I did take it all the way out, but only because I wanted to bring it back into the stomp section, which is where I went next. This is where all of my pedal emulators are. The first one I slapped on is the bass pitcher pedal. So let me just disable all of these, and I will show you step by step what each pedal is doing. So I'm going to give you an A/B comparison of this bass pitcher pedal, what it sounds like with and without it. I highly recommend you to listen with either good speakers or headphones so you can really tell the difference. So this is with the bass pitcher on. This is without. One more time with. So if you can't tell, this pedal is blending in my original signal alongside another signal that is dropping my bass line down an octave. So you've got some real beefiness being added to your tone with this by bringing in some of that sub bass. And then the next step I did was I brought in some more of that drive, brought in some distortion. I've got two different distortion pedals just to show you that you have different options. Personally, I went with the buzz option, which sounds like this. But you also have fuzz, if this is more your style. Personally, I liked the brightness and the bite that the buzz pedal gave, so I went with that, but feel free to use whichever one you like. And then the very last thing I added was this tone pedal, which is basically just a very simple EQ. As you can see, I brought up the mids quite a bit, brought up even a little bit more low end. I did leave the high knob alone. However, I did end up using this low pass filter, which is cutting out everything from around 6.5K and above. So let me give you another A/B comparison. This is without the tone enabled. And then with it enabled. So that is one way on how you can turn an average bass tone into an awesome synth bass. Again, just as a reminder, if you're interested in getting the Waves GTR plugin, a link has been provided for you in the description of this video for your convenience. Aside from that, guys, that's all I've got for you today. This is CJ from Prodigy Creations, and I thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you next time.